What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy this video. This is your review of the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 4, episode 7. So we have the Rainbow Baby Party is the majority of what this episode really is around. We see that Robin can't make it to the party. Her son has a game. Um, at the last minute, Giselle can't come. Her daughter is sick, has a fever. So they weren't able to make it. You know what I realized? I knew that. I mean, I obviously have realized that Sharice wasn't on the show this season, but Sharice isn't even like a friend on the show this season. I figured she would have been at this party because her and Monique were friends or whatever. But I mean, there are no heads or tails of Miss Sharice because last year she was like a friend to the show, but then she was on damn near every episode. So okay, guess she really wasn't on. I know she. Well, anyway. But I just realized that. So anyway, we get to the rainbow party, and Monique is getting ready for the party. She's sort of complaining. She's got a lot of people canceling at the last minute, and she's talking about, hey, this stuff costs money, and of course that's the moment that Giselle calls. But when your children are sick, your children are sick, and I think Monique understood that. I think she was more, just frustrated that so many people at the last minute were like, look, we can't come. But it looked like it was a beautiful affair. Chris's mom was there. And we know the whole heifer situation went down a couple of seasons ago. And she hadn't really talked to her since then. Her and Chris, obviously that's her son. He still talks to his mom, but things just haven't really been the same since that whole situation went down. So Ashley and Michael get there first. And Ashley, Chris introduces them to his mom. His mama won't shake Chris's hand. She was like, "Oh no, I don't do that. I don't shake people's hand." I was like, "Okay." Then they're talking, they're being real cool and everything, and she starts talking about she don't like the way Michael smells. She talking about his alcohol, and he was like, "Oh, is it my cologne or is it my drink?" She said, "I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink." And I'm like, having a drink doesn't equate being an alcoholic, but okay, no disrespect to your mom. Okay, okay. Um, Well, we move on to the party, and again, it looks like a nice affair. Shout out to Cookie. My girl Cookie was all up in this episode. I saw you, Cookie. You was in a couple of scenes, girl. Um, she was at Chris's birthday party last year, but I didn't see her on camera. But they got her all up and through this party. Anyway, so Monique, she explains what a rainbow baby is and why they wanted to have the party, and then they released the doves. They had doves to just symbolize the letting go of the life, excuse me, that was, and celebrating the life that is. And Karen and her and Ray are there, and it looked like it was a really nice event. So after Monique says her little piece, Chris' mom wants to talk. So of course everybody is like, what's she about to say? What is she about to say? But she actually apologizes to Monique and says, "Look, I want to move on. I want to let the past be the past. I love you. I love my son. I love this baby you're carrying. And I really want us to just move forward." And so Monique was like, "Hey, I was shocked. I'm happy that she did it, but I was really shocked that she did." And so it's around this time that little Miss Candice shows up with Chris. Now look, at one point I was kind of feeling like Robin was bad because Robin missed the whole damn ceremony. But look, you late for everything. You can't be on time for nothing. So hell, it don't mean whatever. You might as well just everybody late, just late. Everybody just show up to shit when they feel like showing up. Anyway, um, but overall, the one of the things that Ray got really not Ray, sorry, Ashley's husband, oh shit. Anyway, Ashley's husband, he got very emotional because he was like, it just makes he's like, maybe we should do something like this when we conceive, and with us losing a baby, and basically, and he actually started crying. He was really upset just thinking about the miscarriage. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Thinking about the miscarriage and just where they are now, and the fact that they're still just having a hard time really conceiving it. And like Monique even said, she said, "I don't think I fully dealt with the miscarriage until I found out I was pregnant again. And then you were able to kind of really process some things. So, Monique opened up the mic to people who want to share their stories. She said, there's healing in sharing your story. And so Ashley chose to share. I'm going to just leave that right there. She chose to share. Michael wasn't there. He had gone inside. And so, and Ashley was just talking about their journey and what they went through and where they are and, trying to get to the other side. And I'm going to just leave that right there. We also saw Monique talking to Karen and, Karen saying, "Hey, I miss my dad. This makes me think about, my parents, but I'm happy for you. Um, I'm happy for you, but it does make me think about my dad. I see Chris with his dad, and it's sort of bringing some things up. But but actually, I'm really, really happy for you guys and where we are. And so, um, Ashley goes up to Karen towards the end of the party and says, Karen, and here's what I have a problem with. And again, I don't know if it was edited down, but in her confessional, Ashley says, basically, I kind of understand that I wasn't as sensitive as I should have been to Karen and her loss. And so I need to go talk to Karen and just really try to work on our friendship and get to a better place. Here's my issue. That's what you should have said to Karen. Instead, you went over there and you said, Karen, I really would like for us to hang out. And Karen was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if we're ready for that yet. But that's what you should have said to Karen. Said, look, I know I wasn't as sensitive as I should have been when you were going through some things. And after dealing with loss of my own, I get it. I should have gotten it before, but I didn't. But I get it now. And so I'm sorry. It's nothing wrong with an apology. But anyway, so they agreed to tentatively do something because Karen was like, I don't know. You know how Karen is. Karen don't commit. She's like, I don't know. We'll have to see. So we'll see if they end up doing something. So then we see Giselle's mom is in town. And I remember I asked last week. I had totally, and I'm thank y'all for the comments. I totally forgotten that we had seen Giselle in season 1 a lot. Because I think her mother was going to move in with her or something like that. And the guy she was dating, that was her, they were really good friends. And the mama loved him. So I forgot all about all of that, y'all. So yes, we know that Giselle's mama is around. But we do found out that, like I thought, her and her dad, they had been married for 35 years. They got divorced. Mama don't want to hear nothing about daddy. So there was clearly something there. It wasn't a happy separation because she asked, they talked about the trip to New Orleans and everything. And the minute she brought up her daddy, her mama was like, I don't want to hear nothing about that man. I said, oh shit. And Giselle says she gets her shade from her mama. Well then shit, no wonder Giselle is the way she is because she get it from her daddy too. So she was getting double dose of being catty and being shady. No wonder your ass is catty and shady. Robin in this damn house. Look, at the end of the day, Robin bit off more than she could chew. The house is taking longer than it should have, longer than they anticipated. However, because the guy pulled houses in the area and what they were selling for, they look like they still can make the profit and still be able to sell the house for the price point that they anticipated. They just didn't anticipate it going on this long. So of course, every month that they're paying a mortgage is digging into their profit. Um, and Robin is really attaching her and Juan's relationship, success of their relationship, to the success of this happening. And I just don't know how healthy that is. I think that if you and Juan are going to move on, then he's just going to have to forgive you for whatever happened, all of it, just like you forgiving him for having affairs. He can forgive you for losing the money, and y'all are just going to move on together. But to say this is really the success of this, you being able to, show some business acumen and some success in business is connected to Juan. Again, we right back where we started, Robin. And no, it's connected to you. It's connected to you and to you being happy with what you're doing and the successes that you're having. This don't have nothing to do with Juan. Everything should, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that they're working things out and they're in a better place, but stop connecting everything to Juan. Anyway, but hopefully they'll be able to. The guy said the house should be done within 2 months, so hopefully they done sold that damn house by now. Cause honey, she said that they thought they would be able to flip it in 4 months, and now we 10 months in. So hopefully they sold that house by now. Monique, Chris, and her mom, and his mom, excuse me, actually sit down to have a conversation. And what I love about Monique is the same thing that used to irritate me about Monique. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not gonna bite my tongue. Be respectful. She wasn't disrespectful to Chris's mom, but she let Chris's mom know, look, yeah, I can forgive you, and I want us to move on. However, you come out your mouth real sideways to me, and you are very disrespectful in things that you say. And his mother was like, no, 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 you just know how I am, and you know how I say stuff. And Monique was like, but that doesn't give you a pass. And I think that people feel like, well, you know how I am, you know how I talk, you know what I do. That doesn't make it okay. And you don't get a pass. You don't get to talk to me any old kind of way or talk to me crazy just because that's the way I talk, or just because you're my elder. I need a certain level of respect. And like Monique said, you know, I want us to be in a good place, but you don't get to just say any old thing to me. And then she tried to put it on Chris. Was like, well, Chris, no, it don't bother him. And Chris was like, no, 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 it does bother me. He said, and what I need you to understand is Monique is actually in your corner more than you think. And she's my wife, you're my mother, and what I want us to do is just be able to move forward as a family. Because at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow's not promised. But we can't keep doing what we've been doing. And it's not okay for you to say whatever you want to say to people. And so she kind of, I don't know if she really heard it or not, but they seem to have gotten into a better place or what have you. And again, it's going to take time. Like Monique said, it's not overnight. It's a process, because it's not just that you call me a heifer. Like, this is something that's been ongoing, and it's not going to be fixed overnight. Because I think at the end of the day, she has to see some long term. You really mean what you say. Like, it can't just be no, oh, I said it and let's move on. Like, I really need to believe you mean it. So then we have Ashley, and why I can't remember her husband's name, but Ashley and her husband looked like they went to some acupuncture, but maybe somebody that specializes in fertility. So she had some acupuncture done, and her thing is, I can conceive, but I'm worried about carrying. And so I want that's why they went to go see him, because she said, I want to make sure that my womb is ready, that my body is ready to actually carry the baby. So there was that. And of course, they talked about Michael's age and maybe his sperm count and all that. She was like, no, no, no. The conception ain't our problem. So, again, we know where that goes. So, happy for Ashley. Giselle and Candice end up having lunch. Candice, Candice is turning into the mean girl this season. And I don't know what it is that she got a bird in her craw for um Ashley. We find out that Chris, Candace's husband, is going to do a cookbook, and then she's going to have a tasting at her home for them to taste some of the things that's going to put in this cookbook. So that's going to be the next little event next week. But in the interim, Giselle asked about the party. She said, I wasn't able to make it to the party. My daughter was sick, but how did it go? Candice starts talking about Ashley taking that mic and telling her story. And at the end of the day, what it sounds to me is that, one, Candice doesn't believe that Ashley had a miscarriage, and two, Candice doesn't believe that Ashley is really trying to get pregnant. But here's my issue. Why is it any of your fucking business? First of all, to accuse somebody of lying about their miscarriage, to me, is the equivalent of calling a woman a liar about being raped because, oh, she had on a short skirt. So because Ashley isn't acting the way you think she should act, or you don't see what you think that you should see, then all of a sudden you don't believe her. She doesn't have to prove anything to you. And Ashley ain't even my favorite person, so you making me defend her. Two, her you not believing that she's trying to get pregnant now. Didn't y'all already have that conversation in New Orleans? Didn't you say that you were sorry for judging her process and her journey? But now here you go again being catty with Giselle. So now Ashley and then Ashley talks about, then damn it, then Candice is going to talk about the comment that Monique made about Katie with the Amistad. I don't see what the big deal is with the comment. I didn't see what the big deal was when Monique made the comment. It was a joke. Maybe you didn't find the joke funny. I don't see what the big deal was. She was just talking about how Katie went from, glamour girl to bohemian chic. And, maybe it wasn't the best comparison, but now you got Giselle acting like she all offended. Oh, so she calling her a slave? What's she trying to say? She a slave now? And I'm just like, I don't even think that's what Monique meant. Like, I just didn't take it that way. I mean, it was kind of like the same thing last season with Eva talking about the black comment, and everybody wanted to make it into colorism. I don't see this. I don't see this being a big deal. I don't see what the big deal was. I don't think Monique meant it the way y'all are taking it. And then Candice gonna say, "Well, I didn't laugh." And of course, Bravo shady ass showed the clip of her laughing her ass off. See, Candice, you causing problems, you stirring shit up, and then you want to throw the rock and hide your hand. That's the thing. So then Candice talking about, oh, I should have never said anything. Oh yeah, now because Giselle is fired up, and she gonna say, well, you didn't hear from me. Giselle said, well, who the hell was I supposed to hear from? It was only two people in that conversation. So if Monique didn't tell me, you told me. So I don't know where that's going. I don't know if Giselle's gonna bring it up or make a big deal out of it. But at the end of the day, it ain't that damn deep. It is not that damn deep. Um, Karen and Ashley go to a salt cleanse. I did this when I was in Nashville. I went to a salt room thingy. I was told it would be good cleared up my sinuses. I honestly can't tell you whether that cleared up my sinuses or not, or just being out of this area cleared up my sinuses, because the pollen count and everything here was horrible. So I don't know if it was me being out of town or if it was the actual salt room. But neither here nor there. I would do it again. It was a cool experience. I mean, it can't hurt. And it wasn't real expensive. But they were doing a salt healing process. Ashley said, I'm trying to heal and get past losing a child. Um, Karen is trying to heal and get past her parents. And then the woman was like, well, not only am I a spiritual healer, I'm also a medium. And your dad is in the room. What the fuck? And again, that's one of those things that if you believe, that's cool. No disrespect. And she said, well, your dad, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to upset you, but your dad wants me to tell you that, you got this, baby girl. You got this. And of course, Karen has a breakdown. And, she was like, I know I got this. I know I got this, but it just hurts. Like, I missed them. And she went on to just talk about how, her parents were really her platform and her support, and they're just not there. And that she just really misses them. And again, if you believe it, that's fine, but her and Ashley seem to have a moment. So hopefully that's the beginning of them healing their relationship. But that's pretty much where we ended. We'll see. They showed us a trailer for the mid-season. It looked like it's going to be some mess going down, but we'll see where that takes us, y'all. But that was tonight's episode. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.